Today on the show, we are taking a tour in time, and you might find it a bit echoey in here, and that's because I am standing in Kenora's old jailhouse. This building still exists, and the jail cells are actually still here. Later in the show, we're going to go inside and talk to the owner of the old jailhouse, which is also the courthouse that used to be in Kenora. And all of this is part of a program called Doors Open. This program spans the entire province, and it just lets people have an insight into these unique histories. We're going on a Sasquatch crawl, and we're going to show you a dramatic drag transformation in Thunder Bay.
Here's what's trending in northwestern Ontario this week. Check this out. Kenora Rainy River MPP Sarah Campbell tweeted a link to her live question period question to Queen's Park and linked it to the online broadcast. You can actually see what goes on in Toronto making all of those high-profile decisions. Go to www.ontla.on.ca and click on Queen's Park webcast. Grab some popcorn because it can get heated. We caught this photo of our former Points North host Dana Giesbrecht on a turkey farm in Edmonton as she's hosting for Shaw TV. It reminded us of the time that she got up close and personal with a falcon. Way to go, Dana. Our pick of the week goes to Jeff Gussie Gustafson, who tweeted this beauty 8-pound bass while on Lake Fork, Texas. He's getting ready for his next big FLW Tour tournament. He's ranked 12th in points in the overall standings for this high-profile series. You can always check Points North out on Facebook and Twitter, and you can now also watch us online. Watch for the YouTube link on Facebook after the show airs every weekend right here on CJBN. And that's what's trending in northwestern Ontario.
I'm joined now by Carol Van Nass, who is the owner of the old jail, courthouse, and drill hall, which is now your home. So Carol, 14 years ago, what made you decide to buy this property?
Sheer insanity, I think. It was just like an impulse type of thing. And we've taken this length of time to sort of make use of most of the space. The drill hall here was our final project. We have a little bit of work to do on the jail cells yet, but the original courthouse and jail has the playgroup and has a beautiful loft apartment, a couple of other apartments in it. And the drill hall now has a huge loft apartment that we live in it and a smaller residential unit as well.
So you spent 14 years converting it. Now I've noticed with our little tour that you've actually taken a lot of original wood or original pieces from the history that the building had and incorporated into your life now. So what are some key points in your refurbish of this house that you've kept from the past?
Well, when we had the playgroup move in, we had to do some major remodeling. So what we did was we took a lot of the oak, the walls, that kind of thing, and we've saved it. It's been in storage in the jail cells. We saved it, and now what we're doing is we're redoing it. It's going to become like our kitchen counters. The stairway behind us here, the spindles are made from the original jail walls. And we've kept like the tin ceilings, hoping that we can incorporate them someplace as well. A lot of the pine floors we've kept and hope to refinish them to use them as well.
Excellent. Well, I just think it's an incredibly beautiful space. It's a mix of modern, very modern with the cement floors, and then, of course, the old from all the original history of the building. It's a beautiful space. You need to come and see it. Doors open. Or I've actually been in Carol's home previous to. She's always happy to share. So good luck with the rest of your creations, because I know there's still a couple of rooms that you have left. What's a grand master plan for the whole space?
Well, I'd like to see it used maybe to display like a lot of artwork. We've did the artists tour, and that worked very well. We had like a group of artists that displayed their items and actually worked in the space as the tour happened. And it would be nice to see something like that, like something that people can enjoy the space as well.
We will be right back. We are continuing on with our tour to the Kendall House. Welcome back. We are at the Kendall House, and you are zeroed in on Hooch and Bubbles, which are the two goldfish that stay all summer in the pond in the beautiful garden in the backyard of the Kendall House, which is now, it has been converted into a bed and breakfast. And I've been joined with Craig, who is one of the owners. Rob's not with us currently, but can you just give us a quick breakdown on the original Kendall House, sort of the history of that, and the modern take on the Kendall House as it is today?
Originally, it was owned by the family, Kendall family. They lived here 75 years, raised 5 children. And after the last of the Kendall children passed, it went into public domain and then became something that Barb and Kurt Sprague took real interest in, and I think with great love saved it. We heard the house was in real disrepair when they bought it, and they restored it beautifully in full respect of the period. And I think from their efforts, the house won the Ontario Heritage Award. And it now continues to run as a B&B. And we find what it does is it allows people to experience a different time. They come in and they feel they've left the current society and stepped back, and yet comfortable. So currently, we're just hoping people can come in, experience the house, be comfortable, and enjoy their stay in Kenora.
Excellent. Well, thank you for having us in your home today. It's
happy to be here.
absolutely incredibly beautiful, and we are going to share it with the rest of our viewers today.
I hope they'll enjoy it as well.
Thanks, Craig.
Thank you.
Today we're living histories, and currently I'm in the parlor at the Kendall House, and it just feels incredible in here. Today we're also talking about transformation, and this brave young man has decided to share with us his transformation from a man to a diva on stage as a drag queen. Sarah MacArthur has this story from you from Thunder Bay, and you might find it very interesting.
Meet Natalia Summers. Natalia is one of a handful of drag queens living and performing right here in Thunder Bay.
I feel like Thunder Bay surprises a lot of people. There's definitely some times where Thunder Bay maybe isn't as progressive as a city like, well, Toronto or something like that, but I almost feel like the people that have never been exposed to drag before and they come for the first time, they almost appreciate it more because it's more of a novelty and not of a thing that happens so much. It's the most liberating thing I've ever done. To walk down the street in a dress, it's liberating because you know that you can be whoever you want. Now, drag is not a lifestyle, not for me anyways. When I'm out of drag, I have big beard, I wear my little suspenders, and I'm not like this at all.
When it comes to being a drag queen for Natalia, it's first and foremost an art form. And over the past 3 years, she's had the opportunity to grow as a performer on stage as she expresses herself during her lip sync performance.
I like to pick songs that tell a story. I like to draw a lot of my inspiration from my personal life, so I'll pick songs and stories and performances that tell a story of what's going on in my personal life, so I get to get out a lot of emotion and hurt and pain and love. There's some happy there, but a lot of it does draw from the darker side of my life, and that's why it's an art form. It's a great outlet.
Being a drag queen and growing up in Thunder Bay hasn't been the easiest for Natalia, but she accredits her success to the support that she gets from her biggest fan.
My mom has supported me from day one, and she has just pushed me to be as open and free-spirited as I could possibly be. My mom has been to almost every single show. My mom will wear any merchandise that is made of mine. She will tell everyone who will listen what I do and who I am. So my mom I wouldn't be as open and strong if it wasn't for my mom.
Getting into drag can often take hours, even days, so Natalia has enlisted help from her good friend. Coda does all of her makeup, and she attends as many shows as she can.
The performances, they're awesome. Like, I walk out of there with my face hurting because I just have such a big smile on my face. It's just so nice to see everyone go up there and have, such a awesome time, just expressing themselves and in their own way, doing what they want, and, I love it. Ta-da!
Drag has allowed me to be more comfortable in my sexuality, and on the opposite contrary of people thinking that because I'm gay and I'm feminine, I want to do drag. Drag has actually made me more masculine. Like, when I'm out of drag, I'm like, no, I don't want any of that. I want to be as boy and as hairy and as all the time. So drag has absolutely shaped the person that I am today. And anyone who ever kind of looks at me funny, I'm like, you know what? It's who I am. I was born this way. Can't change it, sorry. And I wouldn't change it for the world, because it has shaped me to be the most artistic and creative person and strong person that I am today.
Be proud of who you are. Reporting for Shaw TV in Thunder Bay, I'm Sarah MacArthur.
This is the dining room in the Kendall House, and of course it is currently a bed and breakfast, but Rob and Craig also host Sunday breakfast for anybody just to come in and check out the space on a regular basis. You don't necessarily need to stay here. Our next on our tour, we're going to Fragile Glass Studio, so come along and join us. Welcome back. We are at Fragile Glass Studio, which is a commercial art space and residence currently, but this particular stop on our tour was converted from an old church. I'm joined now by Chris Gould, who is the owner of Fragile Glass Studios, which is the church that has been converted into a commercial art space and residence. Chris, give us a little bit of a history of this transformation.
Well, originally the church would have had its cornerstone built in 1894. The congregation moved in and had their first meeting in 1895. Now, it went under a lot of transformation in the 60s. The congregation moved out. It was once a place where there were printers. It was a boxing club. It was a storage facility. And then major renovations took place when a fellow named Gord Taylor bought it in 1990, 91, and transformed it into what locally people know it as the Belfry Tea Room and Joinery. Now, after some time while they were there and people enjoyed the church being used as a tea room, and there were concerts in the sanctuary area and everything. After that, Murray MacDonald purchased the building and used it as a sign-making place where he did major renovation in the Sunday school department area to make it into a home, but his studio was in the sanctuary. What I really respect about the building and the people who have purchased it is that they all add to its creativity, no matter who has owned it in the past. And even presently, everybody is contributing to what a beautiful building it is. People don't realize, looking at the outside, until they walk in through the doors, how really charming this place is.
Absolutely. It is an incredible space. It has an incredible amount of energy in here. And I've just watched the front store flourish into a very popular art studio and retail store, which is something that is huge for Kenora as well.
Mm-hmm. I love to gather. I'm eclectic, so I love to gather pieces of artwork that artists have created. We have many pieces from Manitoba, but has gone into BC. We have from Montreal and the Toronto area as well, artists' work. But I also can't help but bring in some stuff from South Africa and some other countries because I'm global-minded as well. and believe in a lot of the free trade products that are available. So it's eclectic with a mixture of a whole bunch of different themes and products that are made afar, but also right here in Kenora, and people are looking for that still.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having us in your home today. And Fragile Glass is one of the stops on the Doors Open tour, so you need to check it out. Thanks, Chris.
Oh, you're welcome. It's always good to have you girls.
There are so many beautiful things here at Fragile Glass Studio to see and also to purchase. Lots of the unique gifts are made by local artists as well. We have one more stop in our tour, and it's this building's 100th anniversary. You're gonna have to stick around because you're not gonna wanna miss this one. We are now at the Cameron House, and this beautiful home behind me has been fully restored. They are also celebrating their 100th year anniversary. So come on inside, let's check out the remodeling of this home, and let's see if they're planning the party of the century. While we go back in time, Shelley Bujold is going into the bush, crawling with Sasquatch. She's trying not to get eaten though. So when we come back, more from the Cameron House.
2, 1, run!
The first Sasquatch bush crawl headed into the unknown wilderness with hopes of evading this guy. Fortunately for me, I got away. While I was running, Chris Jones caught up with one ambitious crawler.
So as you can see, I am here with Dave White, and sir, you look elegant.
Well, thank you very much, Chris. I got this lovely bush crawl party dress donated to me by Sherry Grapham, one of our boot campers.
Very nice. It is going to look spectacular by the time you're done.
I think it's going to be great. The color will show up nicely on this dress. And we're here today to get sprayed by paint in the first annual Sasquatch bush crawl.
But you do have a little bit of pressure on you.
I do have a little pressure, Chris.
You have somewhere around 300 burpees to do.
300 burpees. I put a challenge out. Of course, as some people know, I run a program in town called Fitness Boot Camp.
Yep.
And I put a challenge out to my boot campers. For every $1 that they would donate to this cause, I would do a burpee. And as of this morning, there were $310 in the envelope.
Wow.
So on the course, I will have to complete 310 burpees in addition to the run, which would explain why I'm wearing the lovely blue gloves.
Along goes right with the dress.
Yes, there we go.
While running with the 89.5, the lake's Lake Ness Monsters, we only took one shortcut. After the race, Dave White could hardly move. Here's Chris with more.
You're back? You're still alive? You're still walking?
I made it, barely walking. Last third was real tough. I was out on the trail and somebody gave me an extra $20, so that added to the punishment.
Yeah. So when you're breaking it up, was there a point where you're like, I'm done? But you had to push on?
Well, top of the hill here, when I could see the crowd and hear the music, it gave me a little bit of a boost. And then about halfway down the hill, I was really wondering if I'd be able to make it. And then down at the bottom, of course, big crowd and lots of support. That was really great. And really, this couldn't have been done without the boot campers. They all contributed to the fundraising effort here for me. So, without that crew and all their support, I never could have made it.
What did the big guy himself think, Chris?
So, Mr. Sasquatch, how does it feel that you have a great day, big event named after yourself?
Very privileged.
Oh, so you're pumped? You want to do it next year?
We're gonna be bigger and better next year.
So just so that the people know that you didn't eat anybody on the trails, did you?
Just the 2 little children.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Well, thanks very much for taking the time to talk with us, Sasquatch.
I'll be back.
We'll see you next year.
Thank you. Everybody have fun. Ah!
Over Over 50 teams competed and money raised went to the Kenora Association for Community Living. Covered in paint and loving every second of this crazy race, I'm Shelley Bujold.
I'm now joined with Mr. Jim Clark. And Jim, can you give us just a brief history on the Cameron House and sort of how it's modernized itself?
Well, it's a great people story. At least the beginning of it is. Mr. William Cameron came out from Truro, Nova Scotia in 1882, virtually penniless. He was going to find his future in California, hunting for gold. Didn't pan out. He came to Kenora, which was Rat Portage. Got off the train, and then the rest was history. Basically, he and another fellow, Heap, started a large grocery wholesaler, and the house came along in 1912. Wow. It was built in 1912.
How we're celebrating the 100 years.
How are we celebrating? Well, this is doors 100 years for this house, where it's doors open Kenora, and this is a prime property to show off. Because this is a work of love for the people that own it, the majors who own this house.
You can tell the house just radiates with love. Well, thank you for having us in the home today. And thanks for joining us on our historical tour today of Kenora and some of its beautiful gems that lie within it. I've been your host, Deborah Cruikshank. Make sure you email us at cjbnpointsnorth@gmail.com. You can also track us down on Facebook, Points North. You can also follow us on Twitter now, which is CJBN Points North. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.
This season we've got lots of big walleyes, we've got big cats on the Red River, smallmouths, pike, muskie, you name it, you're gonna see it. We're gonna show you how to catch them and have lots of fun doing it. This is so awesome, dude.